Yes, people, we are going to be talking about this card. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collector's Vault, where cardboard is king. My name is Mike, and if you guys have been living under a rock recently, and I'm particularly talking to the people who are in the collectible cardboard community, I'm pretty sure you are aware that there has been, once again, a huge resurgence in the popularity of shiny cardboard, and it doesn't matter what it is, whether it be Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Pokemon. My little puppy Leo agrees with me. It doesn't matter what it is. We're now at a point where I honestly don't know where these prices are going, and a lot of this comes down to very important key factors that I think people are kind of overlooking. I mean, a lot of it is pretty obvious. I mean, we do have a lot of just popularity in the Pokemon community, and the Yu-Gi-Oh community, and the Magic community just popping up again. And again, Magic is the one that I'm least familiar with, but I know we constantly have all of these incredible sets coming out with these collector's boxes. The most recent Master set was really popular. I think, what's the other one that just came out? Was it another Ravnica set? It's just constantly people are buying product. And and then when it comes to the modern stuff, as popular as it is, people then always look back to the vintage stuff. And right now, I think all the vintage cards are at an all-time high. Now let's go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Once again, the modern cards are still incredibly popular. There are modern cards that, whether it range from a Starlight Rare or the Collector's Rare, these new lottery cards, they're all at incredibly or fairly high prices. And then it goes back to the vintage. Everything from vintage. I mean, Legend of Blue Eyes, like Metal Raiders, everything from those original sets up until maybe even actually I shouldn't even say that, because then that's the vintage of vintage. But then even what we are now calling vintage, the GX era, the 5Ds era, and now it's starting to spill over into the Zexal era. We are seeing so many just resurgences of popularity among the Ghost Rares, the Ultimate Rares, everything. It's quite incredible. And then sealed product wise, we're seeing people. I'm telling you right now, if you see a Legend of Blue Eyes first edition box, and it is legit, and it is at it's gonna be at a high price, but if it's not at $50,000, just watch it. Just watch someone come over and pick it up. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. It's gonna become the next base set box. Now, with that being said, the biggest boon that we've seen recently is in the Pokemon community. Right, Leo? Hey. I think Leo agrees. Right, buddy? So, Pokemon. What more needs to be said? I think we all heard about the most recent transactions that have been occurring over the last couple weeks. And it proves one thing, that not only is the modern cards really popular, this set right here, Champion's Path, has been incredibly popular. We now have the announcement of another set that is now going to have another Charizard card that's going to drive people nuts. And this, again, goes back to the vintage, and it also centers around one particular card, and that is Charizard. And at this point, it honestly doesn't matter if it can be any kind of Charizard. It can be a Shining Charizard, it can be a Expeditions Charizard, it can be the Unlimited Charizard, it can be the Shadowless Charizard, it can be the first edition Charizard. It doesn't matter. If it's a Charizard, that trophy card, the flagship card, it's going places. Again, this kind of goes back to the anything with the Power 9 of Magic, the dual lands. In Yu-Gi-Oh, it comes to those big boss monsters from the anime, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, all those classic old original cards from those original sets. And if you come to Pokemon, Charizard and all the other base set Pokemon, especially the starters, Venusaur and Blastoise, these guys right here, it's insane right now. Now, here's the big thing, and I have to talk about Charizard because, again, he is the flagship, and he's the one that's really driving this incredible boom. So, if you guys don't know, it's probably coming up on a few weeks now. I forget when it actually happened, but Logan Paul, who I don't really know who he is. I only heard about him recently. Apparently, he actually is a pretty big YouTuber, over 20 million subscribers, and that's pretty big. So he must have a big following over the world, assumingly. So he recently did get involved with a purchase of a first edition base set booster box. Now, from my understanding, the most recent sale of a first edition legitimate sealed booster box base set was around $70,000, I think. I want to say Leonhardt bought one for about $50,000, somewhere in the $50,000 range. Then PokeRev, I think, bought one, and that was maybe in the $70,000 range. And then Logan Paul bought one. Now he's bigger. It's like Leonhardt and Pokerev are maybe popular in the Pokemon community, but here's the big factor is that Logan Paul is not a Pokemon fan, which kind of bothers me that he is getting involved. But again, the good thing is that because a non-Pokemon celebrity, and he's technically a YouTube celebrity, but regardless, he has a following, because he is now getting involved in Pokemon, and he made that big purchase, everyone's eyes are on it. Like, this is where it all comes down to. At his box, not only was it, hey, he bought the box, it's like, oh, cool, well, what did he pay for it? Almost $200,000. That's crazy. I mean, it's one thing for it to slowly start seeing that little bit of an increase of these box sales. 50,000, 70,000, 200,000. Yeah, but $200,000. I mean, it's insane. It kind of makes sense because a box like that probably should be worth this, considering how rare it is and how popular the hobby is becoming. And again, of the possibility of getting certain cards in that product. The main driving force is that he's a non-Pokemon celebrity that did this. Not even a real celebrity, he's a YouTube celebrity. Don't take it the wrong way, people on YouTube. You're all celebrities to me, and you know who I'm talking about. But someone like Logan Paul, I'm just saying, like, he has a following. He bought that box, and then of course the other crazy thing is he truly doesn't even care about the Pokemon cards. He just did it because he knew it'd be a popular thing. Then he did a collaboration with Leonhardt, one of the bigger Pokemon YouTubers. He did a collaboration with Gary from Pawn Stars, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But the big thing is, he bought that box not just to crack it open and say, oh my gosh, look at all this crap I got. And like, he did it because he knew it would get him viewers. That's all it really came down to. Plus, because of that, he then did something that was pretty smart. He cracked the box and said that he was going to sell the packs to people. You know, kind of like what a lot of people do. They'll buy the box, and then they'll go on YouTube and record themselves cracking the packs open. And you know, if people bought the packs from them, they'll say, oh look, here's the cards you got. Here are you know, and then they'll seal them up and send them to the buyers. But he then charged what was crazy, because the last time I saw a box opening was Pokerev. I have a video of myself responding or reacting to the Pokemon, to the box opening. He was charging about, like, I think somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000 per pack. Now with Logan Paul, a $200,000 box, he then sold each pack for like over $10,000. So like, let's just say like at 36 packs, $10,000. That's $360,000. So he made his money back from the box, assuming that many people bought those packs. It's absolutely mind blowing. I'm not even sure if he kept the Charizard. He by the way, he did pull a Charizard. He did pull one Charizard out of that box. I don't recall if that was actually a pack that was bought by somebody or if he kept them for himself. I really don't know about that. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments below. But now here's the next big thing. Because of how popular that was and all the viewers he got, like, this is showing, like, oh my gosh, Charizard big. And people already kind of knew that Charizard was kind of like a popular Pokemon, even if you're not a Pokemon fan. But the fact that it's someone like him doing it, it's a big deal. And now because of that, Charizard prices have gone up in price. Think of that as, again, like one of those benchmarks. And it's not just Charizard, all the other base set cards have gone up in price too. But like, my god, Charizard, again, I had a video last year talking about how a first edition PSA 10 Charizard sold for $20,000. Like, that was at the middle of last year. And I said I wouldn't be surprised that because of the Pokemon movie and Pokemon Sword and Shield, that we would see another resurgence and maybe the card would go up to $40,000. Like, I thought that it would be crazy, but at the same time, I can see it happening. And again, I'm sorry if I'm a mess and my hair's all messed up. I got a shower. I didn't do anything with it. I don't care. This stuff has to be talked about. Here we are, like you know, over a year later, and this has exceeded my expectations dramatically. This is not like a 100% increase, like doubling in price, or would that be? Yeah, it's like, this is completely insane. Exponential growth in the popularity of the first edition Charizard. I mean, literally, even just last month, PSA 5 first ed Charizard, the last one sold for about $6,000. That was about a month ago. And even now it's crazy. $6,000. Over the last month, completed listings of $8,000, $9,000 in that range. And now the cheapest one is up to $11,000. Again, not saying it's worth that, but that's the cheapest listing for a 5. Then the 6s are even higher than that. The 7s are reaching like $20,000. I think I saw one person on there with a few 7s that were like between $20,000 and $30,000 for a 7. 7s is a near mint grade, but even a 7, and then the 8s are in like the... I'm not even sure where the 8s are at. People are charging how much for a PSA 9? And then the 10s? What happened next? Logan Paul then collabed with Gary from Pawn Stars. And I don't know if this is actually true, because I don't know why Gary would do this. Gary, if you're watching, unless you did it just for the views, just for the popularity, and then you guys did like a trade back or something, but Gary from Pawn Stars sold Logan Paul a PSA 10 Charizard for like $150,000. The box just sold for $200K, and then a PSA 10, just a one single card. Yes, it is a Charizard, it is a PSA 10, but $150,000. I truly don't know if Logan Paul actually wanted that card or it was just for the sake of the video. But because of that, that's the new record. Insane. Oh no, wait, I'm wrong. It's not the record, because then in the last couple weeks, a actual celebrity who, again, maybe I'm just stupid and I don't really know these people, but a rapper by the name of Logic bought a PSA 10 First Edition Charizard. I don't know who it was from. I don't think it was from Gary. And how much did he pay for that one card? $220,000, whatever it was, $220,000? The box, just a sealed box, which, I'm sorry, I don't care how nice that PSA 10 Charizard is. Maybe even if it was a Beckett pristine 10, I mean like a perfect 10, black label 10s all around. That might push the price of a sealed box, but a sealed box of, like, do you know how many of those are left in existence? The only ones that I know of is that I think SM Pratt has a couple, Leonhard has one, I believe, Gary from Pawn Stars has about 9, and I'm sure there are others scattered around the world, but there's really not many of these things left. There's not many of these things floating around the market. Why is that a PSA 10 card from that box is going more from the box itself? And that just tells me that there's going to be another sale for a box, more than $220,000. I just see this happening, guys. Just watch it. And the main thing is, because this rapper, Logic, bought this card, he's not a YouTube celebrity, he's a celebrity. Apparently a lot of people know who he is. I didn't know who he was, but that's just because I'm stupid. I mean, I'm the guy with the messy hair, come on. And I'm just drinking some cold coffee. But this guy is now getting involved in Pokemon, and rumor has it that Justin Bieber heard about all this, and he wants to get into investing in Pokemon. Guys, you have to realize that this is big. Like, the fact that actual celebrities are getting involved in investing in Pokemon, all I'm saying is, just, if you see a good deal, do it now, because if you wanted to get certain cards for cheap, it's just not going to happen anymore. And I was certain that we were going to be at one of those, like, not like a bubble crash, but I could have saw us being at one of those plateaus, and prices would go down slowly but naturally, and then pick up in the future over time. I don't see that plateau anytime soon. And to be fair, I never expected that these transactions would be occurring among celebrities. And I'm just waiting for the next message or the next news article to come out and say, oh my gosh, like Beyonce just started she bought a PSA 10 Charizard or something, or she bought an entire first edition base set collection, you know, like, which again, this is the thing people to realize. When it comes to the Pokemon community, and there are people who are incredibly wealthy in the community who get involved in collecting. And this also goes to Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. There are people who are wealthy who get involved in this stuff, who own businesses, but when you get real millionaires involved in something like this is pennies to them. You have to realize that them buying a PSA Charizard First Edition, whatever grade, I don't care what the hell it is, them buying First Edition Charizards is pennies to these people. If they get involved, these things are not going to be affordable for some people. Now, there are affordable options. People have to understand there's still Unlimited, there's Base Set 2, all these other variants of cards like Charizard and all the others, you know? So, it's going to be the upper echelon, the true vintage cards that might just start going up into obscene prices. And that's not, it's good and bad. It's good because obviously if you currently own the cards, your cards are now more valuable. If you don't own the cards, that's where it sucks, because now, well, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to pick these things up. And that's just the nature of the beast. It happened in the baseball card community when actual baseball players, like I think, or in all sports cards, not just baseball. I think when Wayne Gretzky bought like the most valuable card of all time, which was the when Wayne Gretzky bought the Honus Wagner card, that went to like how many $1 million? So like when actual real millionaires get involved in this, that's when you see these things going. Like, they're gone forever. Like, these cards are now completely out of the range of being obtainable unless you are rich. And sadly, because of that, this is going to happen pretty soon. Just watch. And I'm not here complaining. I'm saying just for all those who think, oh, like, don't worry, this is like, I really don't see prices going down anytime soon, guys. I'm sorry, because now you have actual millionaires, celebrities that are getting involved in this stuff. They could, if they really wanted to, like, that's how I'm always wondering, like, what happens, like, if someone like Bill Gates just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go throw a fraction of how much money I have, buy out just Pokemon. Because he knows that I'm sure people like this know what Pokemon is. Imagine if, again, if they take a fraction of their wealth and just say, yeah, I'm just gonna just start buying out everything. I'm sorry, guys, we can't compete with that. The average person cannot compete with that. And this also again applies to Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh as well. I'm actually surprised certain celebrities have it, because Magic's been around since the early 90s. I'm surprised certain celebrities didn't just say like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna just start buying every Black Lotus. So like the high grade Black Lotuses like Alpha and Beta, like these are already outside the realms of Charizard. But like sooner or later, these things are gonna become where it's like you have to be rich to acquire one of these things in a high grade. Back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Legend of Blue Eyes first edition boxes, like, and I mean like North American print, the original, like the OG, the really super expensive ones. These are like nothing in comparison to the Pokemon base set prices. But the thing is, they're only a few years older. They're right there as far as my concern, as far as vintage goes. These things are right there. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an incredibly popular card game. It's still, I really don't see it going. It's like the big three, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic, are not going away. I mean, yeah, you have a couple other ones. You have Force of Will, you have Dragon Ball Super. But the thing is, those big three, like, I'm telling you guys, Magic is already off doing insane things as far as the vintage world. Pokemon is basically right there, in my opinion. They're right behind them after all these like huge purchases from all the celebrities. And I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking like, Yu-Gi-Oh's next. Just watch it, guys. PSA 10, first edition, Blue Eyes White Dragon. I mean, like, from the original booster box, North American print. These are going for crazy prices already, but they're nothing compared to what the Charizard and the Power 9 cards of the world are doing. Just wait. Just wait for the right person to come in there and swoop them up. I'm telling you, I'm not saying that they're all floating all over eBay and they're all up the picking, but these prices, guys, are going up, but they're just nothing compared to what Pokemon and Magic have accomplished. And I'm just telling you, all it takes is just one of these celebrities to come around and do something like this. I wouldn't be surprised if they start moving on to other stuff. I think because now that these celebrities are getting involved in this, in the collectible card world, guys, it's a whole new world now. And I mean this in a positive way. The hobby is healthy. The cards are going up in price. It's becoming cool to be a collector now. Among like actual like the everyday people who look up to these celebrities, they're acknowledging that, wow, collecting cards is cool now because there's money involved. And that's where it all comes down to, is it's cool because there's money involved. It's not like, oh, you spent all this money on a piece of cardboard. It's like, yeah, but I'm gonna make money out of it. And that's the mentality that people will have to have, like, or that people get when they see someone who's above them say, that's why I do it. Like, I remember growing up, like, when I was in college, if a girl knew that you were collecting Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you'd think, oh, it's stupid. But then if you told them, yeah, but I sold this card for X amount of money and I made this much money, then it's like, oh, cool. It all comes down to money, guys. And that's basically why these celebrities are doing it. Like, please understand, I truly don't think that these celebrities are doing it because they like Magic or they like Pokemon or they like Yu-Gi-Oh. They're not doing it because they like these cards. They're doing it because of the money and for the popularity. And then for those of us in the collectible card community who actually like these things, it's gonna get tougher because we don't compete with these people. So if the moral of the story is, it's a whole new world now as far as collectible cards go for the big three. If you have your cards and you want to finish your collection, you have to try to do it somehow sooner rather than later. It's gonna get that much harder. I'm constantly checking eBay to see what happens. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like a rich person. I can't go out there and start buying all these Legend of Blue Eyes boxes and PSA 10 Dark Magicians and Blue Eyes. I can't do that. But just watch it happen. The right person's gonna come along and do this. I'm just saying, just watch it. I'm calling it right now. My prediction from last year for Pokemon has completely been overshadowed. It is completely exceeded my expectations. So I'm saying it right now, guys. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is next. Just watch it. It's gonna happen, and I'm just gonna sit there. I'm gonna sit back and laugh and cry, because I'm also gonna be to the point where like, well, now certain cards I want are out of my realm, way out of my reach. It's kind of a shame, and I like so many of these cards. I mean, I really think that the Ghost Rares are next. Original vintage are big, but like, man, some of the Ghost Rares, just watch. They're all going to be gone. Anyway, I hope this video has been enlightening to some people. Again, please don't think this is me ranting and like, oh, saying these Pokemon prices and Yu-Gi-Oh! Prices are too darn high. What I'm saying is that you got these big-time celebrities getting involved. People like Gary from Pawn Stars is apparent. I don't know if he's actually truly selling his stuff or if it's just for publicity, but it's the publicity that matters. And it's causing these card prices to go up in price. It's causing attention. It's nuts. And I just wanted to reach out to everybody, and for people who don't know what's going on. It's a good thing, but it's also potentially scary if you still want to try to pick up and acquire some of these cards, just because it's going to get that much harder. So, alright guys, I hope me and my messy hair have been enlightening to you guys. I hope you learned something. If you guys want to learn more, I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to keep up to date with this. I haven't done a video like this in a while, but I really want to try to keep on track with this because there's a lot of movement going on. The market right now is just so dynamic, it's like shocking and scary. But at the same time, it's all the more exciting, and this is what I live for. I love this stuff so much. So I do want to keep making more videos like this. If you guys want, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Let's talk about this. This is actually like really interesting. Even people who don't, I talk to some people who don't like cards or like collectibles. Even they're getting fascinated. I think it's just by hearing these numbers, you know. So anyway, hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy.